First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while lunch is truth, and also to those elect that are scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is Prophecy Watch, World Events. So I like to say Shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start, I have a few news articles, but we're going to start here first. This one here is by the New York Times. And also we know that, we're seeing a lot of things that's going on around the world right now. All sorts of world events is happening. So right here, we'll start here first with the one here by the New York Times. And we're just going to read the title. I have video to bring it out with a little bit more edification. It says here, France government has collapsed. It said, what comes next? President Emmanuel Macron is expected to appoint a new prime minister, rejecting calls for election or his resignation. So right here, we already know there was a lot of problem going on in France. I think it was a couple, this been going on for the last couple of years about they trying to get rid of Macron. Also, we know that Africa pretty much has cut them off. So we know that they had been, I think for over 50 years, been getting a lot of resources and minerals out of Africa. So, but now Africa is coming on a new alliance with Russia and China, and they have run France out of Africa. I think it's I can't think with all different ports, but it run them out different ports. They was down there, it's constantly draining the resources left and right. Living out a lap of luxury, but all those things is a thing of the past. Now, all of a sudden now, their economy has collapsed. So we already know that this is a precursor of what is going to come to America. And also, there's already rumors that the UK is on the verge of collapse too. But is this by design? Has this been manufactured? It's been designed and manufactured by who? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So we're seeing these things are at work. So a lot of, we look at this and a lot of people right now still are relaxed. We already know that it's coming to America very soon. We already know about the military buildup. But so right here, this is very important right here. France government has collapsed and they pretty much ain't, pretty much keeping these things kind of like hush, hush, and it's a lot of things was going on back and forth, that nation over there is very, that country over there is very divided too also. So we're seeing right now that we know that they'll get ready to put this new infrastructure into place. So we already know that France right now, if they can't get what they want, you already know about Esau. If he can't get what he want, he's going to resort to that sword. So let's get this one. Here's another one I want to get. Oh man, if I can get it to pull up. See, I think it's right here. It's another one here about Poland. We go to this one here about Poland right here. So another things I've been seeing is saying that Russia has launched drones into Poland. So I pulled this report up. So we so very close to all hell breaking loose. Let's get this one right here. Just a quick Google says yes. Said on the night of September the 8th through the 9th, said 2025, Russia launched a massive drone attack on Ukraine. This ain't the way it's okay on Ukraine that led to repeated violations of Polish airspace by Russian drones. Said Poland responded by closing 4 of its airports, scrambling. Said NATO fighter jets and conducting operation to neutralize the intruding drones. Said the situation is ongoing with Polish military operation to locate and destroy down drones still in progress. So this is something what I want but similar, but it said that they went into Poland airspace. Let's see. It says something here. This I know that's about Ukraine, but it's another one. This is right here. Salakia for that, but that's kind of going into what I want to go. This is the report I wanted right here. It said Poland says it has shot down drones that enter its airspace during. Let's open it up. Let's see. I think this is the one I want right here. Salaki for that. But there's so many things that's going on. They said Polish military accuses Moscow act of aggression after shooting down Russian drones said in its airspace. So right here, we know that Poland is a member of NATO. So we already knowing that what they have there, what you call that Article 5. If one NATO member gets in some type of situation, all of them fall in line. So we've got to wait and see how these things gonna turn out. But he said that today that Russia had launched these drones into Poland. So right here, say they knocked some of them down. So we got to see how these things gonna line up. But we're seeing a lot of things that picking up over there in the UK, also in the Middle East, in between China and Taiwan also. Let's get a little of this report. It said Poland military says early Wednesday that it has shot down drones that violated its airspace, said during a Russian attack on neighboring Ukraine, said in what is potentially a major provocation for Europe. So, right now, this right here says here that this is an act of aggression that pose a real threat to the safety of our citizens, said Poland Operation Command in the post on X Tuesday morning. So that's all we're gonna get at this. But right now, we got to see how this story right here develop. But we knowing that this is pretty major right here. We already knowing that once again that Poland is a NATO member. We already know they call for Article 5. We already know that they all are going to go against Russia, but we know by Bible prophecy that's not going to happen. We already know what's going to happen. NATO eventually is going to turn on the West and also Israel. So right here, so it's reports right now. I don't know whether it's been confirmed or not, but I've been seeing a lot of these reports in the news. So it's another one here. This one here just came out. This is very significant too. It says here. This one here is by Newsbreak right here. I found this one here. It says here, Israel bombs Doha, so reportedly targeting Hamas negotiators discussing U.S. proposal. So right here, they keep calling about, trying to bring an end to this conflict, this Hamas and I think the Houthi rebels. And I think Israel, this has been going on for some time, and also we already knowing what's going on in Ukraine. You can't hardly keep up with all these different things. But let's check out a little of this report. It said the strike came as Hamas official said we're in Qatar, said to discuss a ceasefire proposal, but put forth by the Trump administration. So like you for that. Just kind of just dry tongue tonight. So this right here report came out today right here. So it said, reported that, they, bombing, still bombing over there, in Qatar, and I think it was that city called Doha, Qatar, if I'm not mistaken. So I got videos bringing out a little bit more. I'm not going to do too much reading tonight, but I know that Trump is trying to bring a ceasefire between Ukraine, also a ceasefire between Israel and these Houthi rebels. You know what I'm saying? But you already know that the Houthi rebels are backed by Iran. Also, Iran saying that there are rumors that they're going to attack Israel once again. So, it's just rumors after rumors. We cannot hardly keep up with. Also, it was a report, if I can pull it up, the Red Sea, these Red Sea internet cables was cut, was a disruption today. Let me see, can I pull it up? I don't know if I can get it back. Man, I don't know. I'm going to try to see, can I get that back? I'm going to see. Let me go back. That's another one I had pulled up, but I might not, can I do it? But I got a video to bring it out with a little bit more. Let's see. See, can we go back? Let's see. Oh, man. Let's see. Oh, man. But just like I say, we seeing that the Red Sea cables, they've been cut. I'm going to see, can I go all the way back all the way out? Here it is right here. Man, I'm telling you, that's the spirit right there. I wanted y'all to see this, see what's going on here over there in the Middle East. It says here, let's open this up right quick. It said internet disrupted across Asia and in the Middle East after Red Sea cable cut. So we already know about, the internet, it runs those underground fiber optic cables that, it constantly link up the east with the west. So this is a major news article here. And also it was saying that it was another report that Africa has dropped Google and started their own internet. So I got a video on that, but I don't think I have an article on that one. But it says here, this one here by the Independent, it said internet said in the Middle East and Asia has been disrupted after undersea cable were cut in the Red Sea, according to Microsoft. Said multiple countries, including India, Pakistan, and the United Arab Emirates, has been affected by the outage. Said with users of the Microsoft's Azure cloud service experiencing higher latency. So that's all we're going to get today. Let's get this last. We'll get a little bit more. So undersea fiber cut can take time to repair. So as such, will be continuously monitored, rebalance, and optimize routing to reduce customer impacts. That's all we're going to get at that. But so right here, it said that it affected Pakistan, the United Arab Emirates, and India. So these things right here, they're always saying that, it could be a blackout, could be some type of cyber attack. So we know that at any given time that, they can easily hit these what you call these underwater fiber cables and cut the communication off. So things can go dark at any given time. So we at this particular time, and also we know that rumors of wars are all over the place, left and right. Nations are rising against nation. That's why they call it prophecy watch. That's why the Lord set up watchmen to warn you of all these pending dangers. The internet disrupted across Asia and Middle East. So that's where all the heavy hitting going on right over there. Also in our own backyard, they can easily, like say, the internet down, or we had an attack or whatever. So we're seeing these things right now. It's getting ready to come to America. So I think this is the last report I had, but let's get a quick precept. I'm sorry to be all over the place tonight, but man, I'm telling you, man, these things are right here, right before our eyes, man. Let's start here. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 3. Let's get a quick precept. We're going to start today's video to bring out a little bit more edification. Let's see here. Ezekiel chapter 3. A little bit sleepy too. Work with me, bear with me through the spirit. Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17. Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17. Just, in the spirit, excited. I'm telling you, man, we seeing these prophets are speaking, man. Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17 said, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the words at my mouth and give them warning from me. And who is the mouthpiece of the Lord? Is the men of the Lord that's making these video pistol, the one that's in the highways and byways, constantly warning you about all these world events that's taking place around the world simultaneously. Also, it was another report. I can't get them all, but anyway, I can go on and mention it. On the West Coast, over there in the north, that's in the Northwest. So over there in Oregon, it's already reports a lot of different earthquake activity. Also, Mount Rainier over there in I think that's in the Seattle, Washington area. They're saying that it's a possibility that it could erupt. So it's a lot of things are happening left and right. That's why the Lord has set up watchmen to warn you immediately. Let's read in the NLT. It says, Son of man, I have appointed you a watchman for Israel. Whenever you receive a message from me, warn people immediately. That's exactly what we're doing, trying to warn you, warning before destruction. So we know that things is constantly picking up. We're seeing right now that these prophecies are not slowing down for a moment. The Lord's getting ready to bring it. So now let's start the day's video, and after the video, we'll start the lesson. And I hope that you will get edified.
8. France's government is on the verge of collapse and the crisis is shaking Europe to its core. The country is drowning in debt, with a staggering 3.3 trillion euro deficit that grows by nearly 5,000 euro every single second. And it's not just France, the United Kingdom is also staring down the same path. Here's the part most people don't know. For decades, 14 African nations were forced into an arrangement that sent up to 80% of their yearly revenues straight to France. That deal kept France afloat for over 50 years. But times have changed. Countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Chad, and Senegal have expelled France, cutting off Paris from the very resources that kept its economy stable. Now, the fallout is massive. Companies are leaving France, unemployment is rising, and the state can't keep up with the weight of its own debt. The lifeline from Africa is gone, and with it, France's economic safety net. Meanwhile, the UK still leans heavily on Nigeria, but analysts warn that if Nigeria follows the same path and pushes back, Britain could face a collapse similar to France. What we're seeing right now is Europe paying the price for decades of dependency on Africa. The old system is crumbling, and the cracks are finally out in the open. So here's the big question. Is this the beginning of Europe's economic downfall? Or can these nations survive without Africa's resources?
We have some potentially very serious news right now. There are now reports of Russian drones entering Polish airspace, heading towards the city of Zamość, which is in eastern Poland near the Polish-Ukrainian border. There are reports, according to Reuters, that the Ukrainian Air Force is warning Polish residents that drones are targeting potentially a Polish city. We're now waiting for confirmation from the Polish government over whether or not this is happening. But if this is, and Russia has launched a drone attack on Poland, that would be a significant escalation. Poland is obviously a NATO member. Article 5 means if one NATO member is attacked, all NATO members are attacked. We're not there yet. We need confirmation from Poland still. But right now, there are reports of possible air defense activity in eastern Poland. This is very serious. I will provide you updates as we get more information. Yes, I'm on a plane. My Wi-Fi is a little spotty, but I'll get you information fast. So follow along for all the news you need to know, though.
Okay, so did y'all know that almost all international internet traffic travels through submarine fiber optic cables that are laid on the ocean floor? Yeah, people like to think that the internet is being run through satellites, but no, 95% of the internet all around the globe in all of these different regions are run through cables and cords laid on the ocean floor. And ironically, in breaking news right now, they say that there were some cords that were cut in the Red Sea, and they're looking to see if it's China, if it's Russia, what exactly is going on, because cutting these cords can sometimes occur when anchors hit them or if there's an earthquake, but most of the time it can also be based on sabotage, and this could cause major disruptions or just complete lack of connectivity. And with that being said, right now Asia, some parts of Asia as well as the Middle East are facing major disruptions and are not able to access internet or have limited internet access. And it's really ironic because at the same time today on the 7th, they're also conducting certain tests in the UK where a lot of people are due to receive some type of blaring alert because they're testing their emergency systems. And we always hear all of these conversations about this impending blackout, this grid that's going to go down, and some type of impending doom that we all need to be prepared because we'll lose internet, we'll lose electricity. And they're always just putting this out there. It's just looming over us. And now we have cords getting cut. And out of all the places where they could be cut, guess where? In the Red Sea. That definitely speaks volumes, especially in the times that we're living in with all of the theories that are coming about. So what do you guys think about this? Did y'all even know that all of the internet is typically laid through the ocean floor connecting regions? Like, so entire regions could completely lose internet all at once, because people oftentimes think that all of this is done through satellites. But come to find out, satellites are really for ships, for airplanes, for emergency purposes, for military, and for very rural areas where you see them using things like Starlink. But no, most of the time, the internet is definitely laid through cable cords on the ocean floor. So let me know what you think about this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, save this video, go look into it for yourself, come back, share your thoughts. Per usual, this is Africa just hit a switcheroo on America. Went completely offline from Google Internet and created their own You hear me? Pulled a switcheroo and now have their own internet that the U.S. government does not have access to, cannot monitor, cannot track, but still has access to do all the same things that we have access to do. Google is big mad. The U.S. is going crazy. Everybody's in a frenzy. And let's let's not forget to mention America is like falling economically, and Africa has their own dollar now backed by their gold, no longer subscribing to the US dollar. Yeah, it's time.
So we're seeing a lot of things is going on around the world. You know, a lot of these things they ain't not putting in the news. You know, because you know that's the part of their plan. You know, a lot. You know, they keep telling you peace and safety, keep telling you that everything will be all right. So we're seeing that Red Sea cable cut. That's a major event right there. You know, because any given time they can cut your internet off like it ain't nothing. So you know, we know that famine of the word is fast approaching. These things are upon us, man. You know, we can't hardly keep up with all of it. You know, but we're here, man, just like a domino effect. We're very excited. Let's go here, Jeremiah chapter 51. Just a very quick lesson. It ain't gonna be much tonight. Didn't really put nothing together, but hoping through the Spirit that you can receive it. You know, and hoping that we all are part of Hope Elect, that we keep pushing and keep believing. That's what it's all about, man. We'll warn the hell out. How long, oh Lord? Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 46 said, unless your heart faint and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land, and a rumor shall both come in 1 year, and after that in another shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, rulers against rulers. So that's exactly what we're seeing, you know, constantly seeing what rumors of wars are all over the place, constantly seeing what violence in the land, you know, nations rising against nation. We're going to constantly see this thing, but we know that the end is not yet, you know, so, you know, there's no need, you know, these prophecies they are just rolling just like clockwork, one thing behind another, you know, just like the Bible said. Also, you can go to Matthew chapter 24, and it'll tell you, give you that guideline, what to look for. So pretty much we here, man, we're at the end. These coming tokens, you know, this is just the beginning, you know. A lot of things are getting ready to happen. Also, I've been constantly seeing in the news too about this three-eye atlas. You know, they've been talking about that a lot. Said it will be here in November. You know, this large object. You know, could this be a false flag, alien, fake event? We'll have to wait and see. But we knowing what is coming. You know, we know that Yahweh Shah Mashiach is getting ready to black out those clouds with that fathership. We know that getting ready to happen, you know. So this devil, he constantly trying to pull all sorts of things. So let's read this once again. It says, Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 46, unless your heart faint and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. So a rumor shall both come in 1 year, and after that in another shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, rulers against rulers. So that's exactly what we're seeing each and every day. You know, we're seeing the nations are divided. We're seeing these nations are going against one another. We're seeing that these nations coming in alliance against the other. So the Lord's calling all these things to happen. We're seeing that the vibration is constantly changing left and right, you know, but once again, the end is not yet. So now let's get this one right quick. It's another one I want to get. Let's go to Luke to back it up a little bit more. Let's go to Luke chapter 21. Luke chapter 21 and verse, let's see where we at here. Luke chapter 21. Let's see. Luke chapter 21 and verse, let's start at verse 9. Just, it says here, but when ye shall hear of wars and commotion, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. So right here, you know, we know these things must come to pass, but the end is not by and by, you know. So right now we are in these turbulent birth pains right now. We're seeing right now that these things are constantly increasing around the world. You know, also we know that we're coming upon what great tribulation, you know, Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation. We goes over it left and right. Hey man, these are the times that we're living in. Also, we know that our faith got to be strong when these times of trouble come upon us, and also trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. It says here things to come. It said verse 10, it said, then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. So that's exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing France is against Africa, those countries that cut them off from their resource. I think it was they was in that country for over 50 years, constantly sucking them dry. Now they got that dude named Abraham Torre. You know, he's standing up and hoping and praying that the Lord camp his angels around. But we already knowing how Esau Edom get out. You know, he know exactly what he do, and hoping that this man, you know, that he live to see another day, you know, and we knowing that how he gets down, this man will go into your country and take over. But we're seeing right now that these nations are constantly, they're rising up. You know, we're seeing that, you know, the tables are turning, the writings on the wall. Verse 11, it says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famine and pestilence, and fearful sights and great signs there be from heaven. So right now we've seen that fearful sight and sign that shall be from heaven. We've seen this, I think it was just a couple of days ago, it had this blood moon a couple of days ago. So, you know, so the signs of the time, they're here, you know, volcanic activity, earthquakes, pestilence. You know, we're seeing a lot of uptick on these disease, you know. We already know about the C19, it's still here. So there's a lot of things coming out of the pipeline. I already talking about this kissing bug. So we seeing right now, you know, the coming tokens, the world events. We constantly seeing these things without warning. So a lot of people right now not watching. They're still not considering, just going on with their lives like everything will be as it was before, but it's not. You know, we're at the end of this thing. We are so very excited. So now let's drop down to verse 33 or 34. Let's drop down there right quick. Let's get this right quick here. It says, Luke chapter 21 and verse 34, it says, and take heed to yourself, lest at any time your heart be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that the day come upon you unaware. So a lot of people right now, they're not, they ain't giving a damn. They're unaware, you know, they're not considering, they just being wicked right now. The truth there, you know, lost in the sauce. Verse 35, he said, for as a snare or a trap shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Verse 36 said, watch ye therefore, and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. So right here, you know, it said, watch ye therefore always. That's why we got to be watching. We got to be circumspect. We seeing right now that these things are right upon us. You know, a lot of people going to get caught up in these snares, going to get caught up in that evil net, this new digital infrastructure they're constantly putting in place, one thing behind another. Also, we seeing that these countries, you know, France, and also reports of the UK collapsing. We already know that we coming upon, it's rumors over here also that we're coming upon economic collapse. Also, we know that we're at the end of the dollar. You know, it's the end of the dollar is the end of America. And also, I seen another report about that. I think Trump was talking about they were celebrating, I think it was 250 years that America been in existence, but we already know that we're at the end of an age. We're at the end, the fall of this empire, you know, of this wicked kingdom. So we right there, you know, so we knowing that now that, you know, any given time that they can implement this CHIP. Also, we knowing that they're getting ready to do away with the fiat currency. That's why they're constantly putting these things in place. But we knowing right now that this is the quiet before the storm. They're not really telling people pretty much anything. Anytime when they go like kind of silent and not saying anything much, or everything is all right, you know, it's peace and safety, or that's not going to happen, it's just a rumor, that's when things going to go down. It always happens on a normal day when you might be at work. You could be, you know what I'm saying, with your family, your loved ones, or you could be out of town, but it's going down, you know, just like the Bible said. That's why right here, once again, it said, watch ye, verse 36, it said, watch ye therefore and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, which in fact they're coming to pass right now, these prophecies. It said, and to stand before the Son of Man. So when the Son of Man return, you know, or will you be worthy? You know what I'm saying? The Lord is only coming back for that 1/3 remnant, which in fact is the elect, the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So we seeing all these different world events. We seeing these different things are happening around the world. And these things going to constantly pick up. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city? And the Lord has not done it. Shall evil be done in the city? You know what I'm saying? And one thing, but that's what we constantly seeing, left and right. So we knowing that we're here. These things are constantly picking up. All we got to do is watch, pray, and have that sober mind. And one thing about it, and stay under that total subjection up to who? Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, that secret place. So we seeing right now that we coming upon some very turbulent times. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is Prophecy Watch, World Events. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Ba'ashim Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.